everyone, and welcome to the first Cardboard Boxcast of 2026. Woo! Did you miss us? Yay! I'd say they all missed us. Can you hear the tears? You can hear the tears in the background.
You can hear tears.
Oh, that might just be coming from my co-hosts. I am joined today once again by Michael Pender and Sean Moher, who are in merry old London, and I'm calling in from merry old Japan. And we're here to talk about, is it books, movies, something of that ilk?
Poetry.
Some kind of art form,
Yeah, some kind of media. Games. Sure, we'll settle for games. Sure, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, we'll get back into the groove and just talk about what we have been playing lately, because I know you've been missing that. I've been missing that. And I'm going to throw it over to Michael Pender first to hear Michael, what have you been playing?
So the first game I've been playing recently that I want to talk about is called, I'm not sure the right way to say it, 1,000 times resist, or I guess you can call it 1,000 times resist. It doesn't matter too much. It's basically the number 1,000 X resist if you need to search for it. And this one, it's getting the Michael stamp of Sean and Steve need to play this ASAP.
Nice. Oh, you're breaking that stamp out again, are you?
I'm breaking that stamp out again. I can be, as I've been called, a hyperbolics, because I sort of talk up games a lot when I've just really connect with them for whatever reason. But if I'd played this a few months earlier, it'd probably be number one on my best games of the year list. Absolutely amazing. Maybe one of the best examples of storytelling in games I've ever played. It's unbelievable. And I feel bad talking it up this much because I really want you to play it and come in fresh, because when I got it because it was like slightly reduced in price, and I'd heard it's good. When it came out, it was on a lot of like end of year lists and stuff. Didn't get nominated at Game Awards the year it came out, actually, which was,
when did it come out?
I think 24.
Oh, right. Okay.
But weirdly enough, they had a big sales spike after the Game Awards nominees were announced, because so many people were like, why isn't 1,000 times resist on this? And that got a lot more people interested in the game.
All right.
I'll briefly go through it because we've a lot to, because we're going to count down our top 5 games of the year later and all, and I'm probably going to talk for ages on that as well. But the thing that makes it amazing is that it tackles so many themes really well with a lot of depth, but still is a really engaging story. It's not like a homework, if you get me. It's not like boring or, a slog to get through. It's really, really engaging from a plot level. And the dialogue... Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
So, can I just interject one thing? What kind of game is it? Like, is it a shooter, slasher?
It's really hard to define. I think most people have said it's closest to a visual novel. Is that the right term for that sort of thing? But when I think visual novel, I think 2D sprites, no gameplay, all dialogue. And it's not exactly that. There is gameplay, but it's very limited. The best description of the gameplay I've heard is it's like Mass Effect, but only you running around the Citadel talking to people and not the shooting parts. And that sounds really bad. That is not
a good sell.
No, it sounds really bad.
It's a terrible sell.
The place where this really hits is how it tells its story. So it's made by a bunch of people during lockdown from the performing arts scene in Vancouver, I think, in Canada. Well, it's in Canada. And a lot of people of either their parents were from Hong Kong, or they are first generation or second generation living in Canada. And they were theatre people and they were music people. And when COVID hit, they couldn't perform or do anything. So they decided to band together and make a game. And you can really tell it's made by people who haven't learned a lot of the things that you usually do in games. So that means some like rough edges. I played the Switch version and the frame rate was crap. You can see from the visuals that like the lighting is very basic. The textures can be, very basic and muddy. It looks like PS3 level graphics, I would say, most generously. but the art direction is absolutely amazing. And it brings together all these things. It brings together like generational trauma, assimilation into a culture when you're an immigrant, the nature of memories, regrets about your teenage life when you become an adult, parenthood. All this stuff is seamlessly woven in. It's not like, I know I always rag on him, but it's not like Kojima where he has one character who just says 10 pages of dialogue about how hard it is to be an immigrant. And then that's it in terms of thematic resonance. This stuff is like woven into the game itself. But it's still like, I can't emphasize how engaging it is. And you just want to know what happens next. Like it has a really cool sci-fi premise that it wraps around all this stuff. And it does really interesting stuff with, it switches perspective a lot. So one of the central mechanics is you dive into people's memories, which, like, I won't ruin anything about that, but even that gets sort of twisted in interesting ways. But each time you do it, you're in a different perspective. So you might be in a side-scrolling perspective. You might be in the third person. You might be in the first person. It switches media at times as well, which is like there's one bit in the middle of the game where it switches media that hits like a fucking nuke. It's so simple, but I don't know why games don't do it more often. It's done really artfully, and I just can't rave enough about it. The voice acting is brilliant. It's got this laid back tone where it sounds fairly naturalistic, which is jarring at first because people don't say like, I'm going to the crypto pod to get another clone. It's all very like lived in and real in a way that a lot of voice acting isn't. I don't know, guys, you just have to play it. Like, it's really hard for me to sell it. It works so well. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, do you know, like, it doesn't look like my kind of game, but after you raving about it, I had a look. It's on Game Pass, so I threw it in my backlog, and I'm going to get to it at some stage.
It's roughly 10 hours.
Okay, so
you won't feel those 10 hours, and I just want to hear what you think. I would literally just have a whole podcast talking about this game.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. I keep trying to stop bigging it up too much because you are going to go in with high expectations, and I didn't go in with high expectations. I was like, oh, this might be good, and then it just blew me away. But yeah, absolutely amazing. Top of the tree for 2026, I'd say.
Wow.
I'd be surprised if something else came along that had the impact that this does.
Sick. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Steve.
Sorry, I wouldn't be too worried about like bigging it up too much, because from what you say, it sounds really, really interesting, but it also sounds really messy. So that's kind of balanced out nicely. So
yeah,
and that's not enough. That's not enough to put me off. Like if a game is like interesting, I don't mind if it's messy, and it does look like the kind of thing I'd be into. I do have one question for you though. Like, what's the tone like? Because from what you describe, it sounds very melancholy, but like, and that could be kind of tough, I think, like if it's just nonstop melancholy and like abstract concepts. Like, is there any kind of sense of humor or anything like to it? Or?
Oh no, it's very funny. Yeah, especially the dialogue, which is like one of the primary ways that you communicate, which is a very sort of reductionist thing to say, or a very simple thing to say, but yeah, it's very funny. It does have a lot of humor. It's not as abstract as you think. I think one of the deftest pieces of writing in the game is that when it does become abstract, you begin to understand what that abstraction means. So at the beginning of the game, you'll be thrown a lot of terms that you don't understand, and then by the end of the game, you will understand them. But not in a way like, you know, when you start a game and it has all the lore, the Avardians are attacking the central hub, and you're like, I don't know what any of those things mean.
Crash Bandicoot, yeah.
Like, or any RPG made in the last 20 years, basically. That's not what I mean. I mean, there's a sort of abstract way that certain people speak in the game that by the end of the game you will understand. I can't get into anything else without spoiling it, but no, it's not.
This sounds impenetrable, but good, but impenetrable.
And it's no, it is accessible. That's the thing I'm driving at, is that the plot you can follow, but it has all this other stuff underneath that's really interesting. I'm going to stop talking about it. Just play it and talk to me, please.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Fair,
That's our homework,
okay.
Steve.
Got it. All right, fair enough. All right, well, speaking of... Oh, sorry, Michael, it's your job to say who's next.
Speaking of who's saying who's next, Sean.
Cool. So one of the games I've been playing recently, just finished it, although I'm going for the 100% in at the moment, is Mafia: The Old Country.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I don't know if either of you've played any of the Mafia games before.
Yeah, I played the first one like last year. Quite liked it, actually. It's pretty good.
Cool. The remake. Yeah, nice.
I played the Mafia. I think came out on the PS2 as well,
yeah.
and it was horrible.
Yeah,
it was really bad. It was just not optimized because it was a PC game, and it was just really bad. But I played a little bit of the remake, and I was like, this is.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but anyway,
it's okay. I can see where you'd be coming from with that. But I liked it though. I think I liked the story.
So I had, and I still have actually, the original Mafia on PC. That was my first time like playing the game back in like the early 2000s or whatever. And at that time it was incredible because I think maybe GTA 3 was out then. It was definitely after GTA 3, I think. But like because Mafia was only PC at that time, like before it came to PS2 and Xbox or whatever, like graphically it was amazing.
Yeah, I remember seeing screenshots and being like, how is this an open world game?
Like the little details in it, especially around the cars and stuff. The way, like one thing I love, and like it's so stupid, right? But like say you're in a car and you're about to get out, but you turn the wheel. And like
and the wheels are turned.
Wheels stay turned when you get out of the car, so it's not like it snaps back to zero. You know? And it was just like it was such a small detail. I was like, that is so cool. Like I can like role play like I'm parking my car and turn the wheels into the curve. I don't know why it was so satisfying, but
parking simulator. Love it.
We don't kink shame on this podcast, so that's all good.
But anyway, after that game, I've played all the entries in the series. Mafia 2 was amazing. For a lot of people, that was kind of their first entry into the series because it was like there was a long gap after Mafia. Well, like you said, when it came to PS2, it was like terrible, the port.
Yeah.
And then Mafia 2 was on PS3, I think, and it was way better in quality. Mafia 3, I played it and I liked it. It does get a bit repetitive in its mission structure and the open world, and this is a problem with all the Mafia games, is that they're basically linear games set in an open world. And they give you the option to explore the world, but it's kind of like the LA Noire thing. There's nothing to do in the world, you know?
Just nice set dressing. Really.
Exactly, yeah. Now, I think Mafia 3 and some of the later ones, they did try and like introduce collectibles and challenges and stuff in the open world, but it was still like, I think this, actually the game I'm talking about now, The Old Country, this does the same thing. And it was the one downfall for the game for me, where it didn't feel like it was a living, breathing world. Really. Like set dressing, like you say. Like I'm going around to get all the collectibles now to 100% it, but it's like there's nothing. There's barely any NPCs around the map. Like there are a few in villages and stuff, but they don't react to you at all. You can you can point your gun and shoot it, and they'll do nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Like, well, you can't shoot civilians anyway. The game won't let you, but
they don't even react when you shoot around them.
They'll react a small bit, but like you can be pointing a shotgun at some fella's face and he's just looking at you, but with a blank stare, and it's just like, okay.
Can I ask, do you just looking at the trailer here, do you primarily get around on horseback, or is it cars more, or?
So it's a mixture of both. You start off with horseback and then you get a car eventually, and then to be honest, once you get a car, you don't go back to horse. At least I didn't.
Like humanity, really.
Yeah. It's it's a cool way of getting around. Like especially, I guess it's easier to go off road and stuff on a horse. And in like, there's certain parts in the story where you'll be on horseback with a group of people and stuff, and it's cool. Like, but once you get a car, there's a load of car options as well that. Just especially in the free roam, like for getting around, it's just way easier just to use a car. But I mean, the main thing you're coming to a Mafia game for is the story anyway. And while the story I feel is like you can kind of see what's going to happen. It's very typical gangster story. There's no real big surprises. It's still just an enjoyable. It's like playing a movie. You know,
Yeah,
it's very enjoyable that way. And the characters are good. Like the voice acting is great. The gunplay is decent enough. Not the best in a third person shooter, but it's okay. It's serviceable. The driving is actually really fun in it. And there is a classic mode which they brought out for Mafia Definitive Edition as well, where it's like basically just a harder mode. There's no auto aim. The car handling is more realistic as well. And I feel like, yeah, I just played this one through once on Classic because I was like, I just want to get the original experience, you know. And I feel like even at that, it wasn't that much of a challenge. You know, like it wasn't okay. You had to take cover more and stuff, but like, yeah, that's what you would expect. You know, I'm playing it on easy now to get the collectibles and do the challenges, and like you can just walk right into a hail of gunfire and you're grand. You know, it's a bit ridiculous.
Sometimes I hate
like
that.
real life.
Yeah, because I want to play an easy mode sometimes because I just want to chill, but I want a little
it takes
something
you out of it. Then, you know.
Yeah.
And also Mafia is since the first game, they're notorious for having a really difficult racing mission.
Okay.
So in the first
I remember that in the first one.
Yeah. So yeah, the first game had like a racing mission where like it was kind of like a Grand Prix style thing, but you're racing around in cars from like the 30s or 40s. And it was really difficult to get through because like one slip up and you crash. Well, actually in the first game, if you slipped up and crashed at speed, you were dead straight away on impact. But even if you didn't die, getting back your place was really difficult. And in the definitive edition, they redid that race and they kept it just as difficult in the classic mode, or you could play like with the easier driving physics and it was much easier. But they've put a racing mission in the old country too, and it is just as difficult, I'd say. It's a longer race as well through the countryside, and it's it's not as difficult as the first one, but it's still they've definitely realized like, oh, this is something our audience like.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a thing. Do you know the way like in all the Souls-like games they put a poison swamp because they know people like there's sort of an expectation that this really fucking hard thing is going to be in it. I wonder if every time they're like, okay guys, let's start. We know we're going to have a difficult race, so what else are we putting in?
But yeah, there's I think knife fighting was new for this game that hasn't been in any of the other ones, which is it's kind of a basic like melee system, but it's cool. It's something a bit different in the game. But other than that, it's a solid game. There's no big like breakthrough mechanics in it or anything like that, you know. I'd say another thing I'd say is it's I'm pretty sure it's Hangar 13 who made this on the definitive edition. So it's their first original title in the series because I think it was can't remember their full name, something Illusion Softworks, I think, made the original Mafia. But anyway, for their first entry in the series, like original story, they've done a really good job, and hopefully they'll continue the series. You know,
sounds good.
But yeah, really enjoyed it. Would recommend.
I'm not sure if this is an indictment of a game or not, but like I'm probably not going to buy this game. But if it ever becomes free on like PlayStation Plus, I'll definitely play it.
Yeah, and it probably will be one of those games that goes free. Like I wouldn't
has that smell about it.
If you're not really into the series, I'd say just wait for it to go on sale or into a subscription service. But if you like,
does it have Oh yeah, I do. Does it have filters on it? Because I remember one thing I really liked in the definitive edition was that you could play it in noir mode, which is all black and white, which actually really added to the atmosphere a lot.
So they brought that out in this one too. I didn't try it though, but because I thought like, it looks cool as a picture, but do I want to play a whole game black and white? I don't know. But
I would recommend it actually because I played the original one almost entirely in black and white. I'd switch it off every now and then if I saw some nice scenery. But it felt really nice. Like, and that might just be a me thing. I like stuff in black and white. I'm planning to play Ghost of Tsushima in black and white when I get it because that's Kurosawa mode is on it.
Sick.
Yeah, but
awesome.
But anyway, I'd say give it a go if you're replaying it anyway.
Well, I am gonna. So one thing when I played this game, like I was really in the mood for a linear story game like this.
Yeah.
But when I played the original, or sorry, the definitive edition, the remake of the first one, I think I wasn't in the right headspace because I went into it thinking like, oh yes, like I love the original, I can't wait to play this. And I remember like not enjoying it as much. Like I just wanted to get through the game.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was just because my head wasn't in the right place.
You were expecting more of an open world playground sort of thing?
Well, no, I kind of knew what to. I think it was just like, this is something I found happens to me more now. But if I play a game that, like, just because it's in my backlog, but I'm not in the right headspace for that type of game, I don't enjoy it as much, maybe.
Yeah, I get you.
So anyway, after playing this, I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to go back and give that another go now and play through it. So maybe I'll try the noir mode, Steve, and let you know.
Yeah, give it a shot anyway. See how you feel. Play a mission or two, and if it doesn't grab you, go back to normal.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'll pass it over to you, Steve, for what you're currently playing.
Good. Okay, well, good news for you, Sean, because I know you start every one of these podcasts thinking, who's going to be playing a Final Fantasy this week? And
more on that later, but yeah.
Well, sure enough, I was playing a very obscure game. I played Final Fantasy IV: The After Years. Just to explain for anyone who's listening, and probably for Sean as well. So
definitely for Sean.
So for Final Fantasy, the Final Fantasy series, like each numbered title isn't a direct sequel. It's usually an entirely new game.
Yeah.
Well, this one, The After Years, is a direct sequel to the fourth installment, but it came out like years later. It's like 2010 or something. It's also like, and I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the game itself because it's quite functionally similar to Final Fantasy IV. But what's interesting about it, I think, is this is as far as I know, one of the only examples of Final Fantasy dipping into episodic gameplay. And it kind of messes the whole thing up, to be honest with you. So yeah, just to get it out of the way, I didn't enjoy this game really at all. It was just one of those games on my backlog that I've been meaning to play. And it's like, okay, listen, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to get through this. And it kind of did require that level of determination. It's right, here we go, I'm going to do this now, because it was not great. The story's really derivative. Like, it's kind of just a replay of the original story. It's like, someone stole the crystals. Oh no, he comes from the moon. We got to go kill him. That was the opening scroll that comes up on the screen. But the fact that it's episodic really messes it up a little bit, like, because in the original, so there's 3 different versions of this, and I played the PSP version, but on the Wii version, which it originally came out on, you could download pretty much any episode you wanted. You didn't have to play every single one of them, and because of that meant every single episode they had to assume this might be this person's first episode.
Oh, okay. Painful.
Therefore, every single one of the first 8 or 9 episodes is like piss easy, and is like basically introducing you to the mechanics again and again and again and again.
Does it have a previously on at the start?
No, because you could be playing them out of order, you see.
Oh, yeah,
so like they can't really do it. Yeah, like the only one that you need to play for the story to work is the very first one, the 9th one, and the 10th one. You can skip all the other ones if you want.
That's mad.
And the thing is, because of that as well, the story in those chapters basically is meaningless. It doesn't matter. Like, basically in the first 9 chapters, all you really need to know is someone has come down to Earth from the moon to steal crystals, as you do. And everybody is like, well, we've got to get to Cecil's castle. Cecil is like the main character from the first game. We've got to get to his castle and help him. And that's what basically every single person's individual episode. They're going from where they were to Cecil's castle, and they have a little adventure on the way. And it's kind of like just not great. It's got some good moments in it. There's a really, really good moment that I liked in one of the episodes where there's this one character. She's one person out of a set of twins, and she's kind of grappling with the idea of like what she is like as an individual, as opposed to, because in the original game, like, she's kind of played as a comedy character. The 2 twins, like, one is kind of chaotic, one of them's all about order, and she's the one who's all about order. But with the chaotic guy gone in the sequel, she's kind of like, okay, who am I as a person if I'm not a foil to this guy? And that's actually really, really interesting, but they don't really go anywhere with it, is the problem. Like, it sounds interesting, but it's never resolved. It's just kind of like, yeah, who are you as a person outside of like this guy? And I think the one thing that I do want to say that I did like about it, they introduce a really, really cool thing into the battle system that I wish other games would do. It's like this phases of the moon thing. Basically, the moon has 4 stages, and depending what stage it's on, it'll affect your abilities in battle. So, for example, if it's a full moon, your strength might be increased, like in your regular attacks, but your black magic might be weaker. And for every phase of the moon, like that changes. Like, okay, this stage, like your white magic is stronger, but your special abilities will be weaker. I really, really love this system. This is really, really cool because, like, you know, like Michael, you've played loads of these games before. You know that usually with random battles, it usually devolves into attack until they're dead.
Yeah,
like that's every single RPG. When you're not really thinking about it, it's just keep attacking until they're dead. But because of this system, it makes you think, okay, what's the best thing I can use in this battle? Because if I attack, it's going to take longer. But if I use my special move, it'll be faster. Or if I use my black magic, it'll be faster. So it's a really clever system. It's probably the one major thing that's really good about the game. But it's just the fact that it's applied to this particular game isn't really great.
Yeah, fair. Like, and I can see it from the footage that, like, oh, you have an arrow up or down with attack and stuff, so it seems easy to read those phases of the moon as well.
Yeah.
So that sounds like a really good system, but I can see why an episodic thing might be a good idea. Like when you were saying the concept of, oh, each individual character gets their own episode traveling back to Cecil's castle. On paper, that sounds sort of cool, but I can imagine it's just like, okay, I'm starting again from scratch, and you want one big long narrative from a Final Fantasy game, not like a ton of mini narratives necessarily.
Yeah. And actually, there's one, just to like further highlight what a bad idea it is, there's one chapter in particular where that chapter by itself is further broken down to 4 mini chapters. So like, and it's each of those chapters takes about like half an hour to beat, and like, so you'll be getting somewhere and it says, right, momentum picking up, and then start again, momentum picking up, and then start again. And that's like a constant pain in the ass the entire way through the game. It's building momentum, and then it stops to change characters, and it makes the story really hard to follow as well, because it's jumping around. Some stuff is taking place at the same time as other things. It's kind of a nightmare. Okay. And it makes me wonder, like, actually, like, just a question to you guys, like, can you think of any example of any game where like it being episodic made it better? Because I was like trying to think. I don't think there is a version.
I think The Walking Dead did it really well. I think they took so much. That would have
been better
as one narrative. I don't know. I guess the question is, would it still have worked if it wasn't episodic? As in, if they had decided to make an entire full-length game. But I think the interesting thing about that was you had a little mini arc within each episode, and you didn't get the sense that you were resetting from zero when you started a new one, because they would, like, I remember from the first game, they would have moved location, and there might be some new characters who have joined your posse in the interim, but you're still carrying over some of the dynamics between characters from the previous episode. So I think they worked on the assumption that you weren't starting episode 4, and they worked on the assumption that you would take it from episode 1 onwards. And I think that was the strength of that game. But that's a very narrative forward game. I'm not sure mechanically if it would work for other games.
Yeah. But like, I think it's just such a small thing that could easily be rectified by saying, okay, this is a full game, but it's split up into 5 episodes. Like, there's no reason to, like, from a marketing perspective, to make it like you can download these individually. Like, who benefits from that?
Yeah, that's true. The only way they benefit is they can charge more. So
exactly,
pay, like to buy 5 episodes would cost more than it would be to buy one game, but they might be like cheaper individually. Obviously, it's all about the money, lads.
Yeah. But that's Final Fantasy IV: The After Years. Not a great game. If anyone's ever wondering, should I play this? Probably not. Not great.
So it gets Steve's stamp of don't play this.
My big stamp of fine.
Yeah.
Just meh. Big meh stamp. Okay, cool. Let's send it back over to Michael Penender to his next game.
So the other game I've been playing recently is called Cult of the Lamb, which was it's classic Devolver sort of. As a publisher, they seem to get like very interesting indie games that have like humorous and violent streak throughout a lot of the stuff they do. But
yes,
this was really good. I had low expectations again, even though it got good reviews, because I knew it was. The main gameplay loop is it's part dungeon crawler, part like farming sim, or I don't know, town sim in a way. So you have your cult, and your cult, part of that is, maintaining their happiness, making sure they have food and water and a place to sleep and entertainment and stuff like that. And the other part of it is dungeon crawling, which is roguelike. And both parts individually are quite simple, but it gets really addicting because they interact in interesting ways. So when you're dungeon crawling, you can find resources that you can use to upgrade your farm. And when you're farming, you can get things that'll give you buffs during the combat sections. And it creates a really interesting loop to the point where I blinked and I'd put 20 hours into the game and I didn't even feel it.
Wow.
And I'm not really into farming or town sim games normally, but I think having the extra gameplay mechanic there of the dungeon crawling, which was like pretty good. Like it's not, as a game by itself, I probably wouldn't play it, but as part of a whole, it worked pretty well. And it's got like an interesting art style, like it's quite a dark humor, but with like a cutesy sort of inversion of that as well. Really fun. My one quibble with it is it really ramps up the difficulty for the final boss. Before that, it's actually very easy throughout, and then the final boss is like way harder. So like a bit more of a gradual sort of difficulty curve would have been good. But excellent music as well. You will hear the farm tune like over and over again because you spend so much time like maintaining your cult. And I never got sick of it. I really enjoyed the music throughout.
Is it maybe you said this, but are the dungeons are they procedurally generated?
Yes.
They are, okay.
Yeah, so they're random, and the weapons you get and your magic ability is random as well, which can like, it's interesting because sometimes you get a bad roll or a roll that doesn't suit your gameplay style and you're sort of like, oh fuck. But then you go through it and you sort of adapt, and throughout the dungeon you get upgrades as well, which are randomly generated. So it makes it like I'm sort of not the most positive on roguelikes sometimes because I prefer to have something I can incrementally get better at and upgrade. But it works pretty well for this, and the dungeons are short as well generally, so it sort of means like, oh, you're not stuck for 10 hours with like a loadout that you don't enjoy. Really enjoyable. I would recommend. It's not one I'd instantly go back to or anything, but quite addicting when you get into it, I have to say.
Cool. Yeah, I've seen this.
I imagine the sorry, you go ahead there, Sean.
No, I was just going to say I've seen it pop up and like quite a lot, and a lot of people talking about it, but yeah, I actually didn't even know it looked like this. I thought it was top down, like completely. I mean, this is more like isometric, almost isometric.
You know? It's almost like a tilted top down,
but it looks gorgeous though. It looks really cool. Sorry, Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say a similar thing. Yeah, I didn't realize it did have this graphical style, and I imagine like that actually goes a long way towards like selling it. Because that's the kind of thing that's jumping out to me right now looking at it. I'd be like you, Michael, like I wouldn't be very big on towns, like town management or rogue dungeons. So like when I heard about this game, it kind of gave me vibes of Isaac, which is another game that I just didn't vibe with. So I don't know, I might give it a go sometime maybe.
Yeah, very accessible, I will say that, and yeah, maybe a smidge too easy throughout, but like, I don't know, you're spinning a lot of plates at certain points, so it's nice that like it's not too punishing in some ways. But yeah, pretty good.
Nice.
Smidge is a fun word.
Smidge is a very fun word. I'm going to throw it over to our own little Smidge, Sean Moore, for his next game. You know what that means, you little Smidge.
Smidge Moher.
Cool. So
that does sound like such an Irish, like, you know the way a lad's called Spud or something, you know. Old Smidge up the road there, he'll tell you.
Good man, Smidge. No, sorry, let's not make that stick. That's really...
Yeah.
So, carrying on the Devolver Digital trend, I've actually been replaying Katana Zero.
Oh, it's one I want to play,
nice.
actually. Yeah.
Oh, have you not? Man,
No.
you'll love it. Any fans of Hotline Miami, there's a lot of similarities with it. Obviously,
How many katanas are in it?
I've counted at least 2
So more than 0. That's
That's an inaccurate title then. A completely inaccurate title.
So obviously, visually, it's a side scroller, but it kind of retains the instant replay and like one hit deaths for both enemies and yourself that Hotline Miami has. Also, like the visual style, it's very neon 80s synthwave soundtrack. It's a very cool looking game, very smooth playing as well. It's almost got there's a lot of VHS inspired graphics in it as well, which kind of alludes to the feeling that you're being watched constantly by someone. When you die, the game rewinds like really fast to back to the start position. So if you've gotten like nearly to the end of a level that you were spending like ages in, it'll take ages to rewind all the way back, but it's pretty cool. And when you complete a level successfully, it'll show you like a black and white replay on like a VHS recorder of your run through.
Cool.
It's actually a game maker game, and I think I remember watching an interview with the developer and how like he had to push that engine to its absolute limits and even like create some new like add-ons for the engine in order to get this game to work the way he wanted it to, because the visual style is like there's a lot of particle effects going on, a lot of screen shake flashes and stuff, so that when you get a level down, like you know where all the enemies are and you can like seamlessly like run through it. There's so much happening on screen like at once. Sometimes you kind of lose your character a little bit in the melee, but you have to just kind of just go with the flow, remember where the enemies are and get out the other side. It's a very demanding game for that engine, but I think like the developer pulled it off like insanely well.
It looks amazing. Just even and the thing you talk about, like screen shake, it looks like it's very satisfying to get a kill.
Yes, yeah, completely. And there's like lots of different ways to do it. Obviously, you have your katana, but you can deflect bullets, you can throw objects. There's like environmental stuff as well that you can push enemies into. It's not just a simple hack and slash, even though that is the basis of the game. The story as well is really interesting. I won't like ruin any of it, but you basically you kind of have like amnesia at the start of the game. So I know that's like a well-used trope. But kind of like it does a lot of, again, kind of in the vein of Hotline Miami, do you know, where like people are talking to you, they're very cryptic and stuff. There's a lot of that going on in this as well, and you're just trying to piece together the puzzle of the story. Really fun game. I completed it years ago on Switch and just picked it up again on Xbox to play through it again. I'm gonna try and 100% it, but there is like, I think one of the achievements is for speed running the game in like under 3.5 hours, which doesn't seem. I think the game itself is like 6 hours, so it's not impossible, but you would probably need to know every level, like off by heart to be able to do that. So I don't know. I will see how that goes. I might get to that achievement and just be like, I'm just gonna leave that. But
I'm gonna add it to my list, man.
Definitely, man.
I think up my alley.
I think you would absolutely love it, and it's like I said, it's only about 6 hours. It's not a massively long game. There is I can't remember when it came out. Oh, there you go, 2019. There's when the game came out, the developer said, there's going to be a free DLC coming out for it soon, and still hasn't released. But I saw Devolver put out like a trailer for the DLC last year and said, it's still coming and it's still free. So
Wow.
he's just taking his time with it. But it'll be interesting to see how big that DLC is, really, because
Because he's working on it
he's
for a
been
while.
spending a while at it. Yeah. So.
Hey, just before you move on, you played a Switch version originally?
Yeah.
Does it run okay? Is it good?
Yeah, amazing. Just as well as because that's the thing. It's even though it looks visually amazing, it's not that intensive because it's a Game Maker engine game. So Hotline Miami, Hyper Light Drifter, they're all Game Maker studio games as well. So yeah, it runs brilliant on Switch.
Cool.
Yeah. Nice.
That was class.
Yeah, I'd recommend it, Steve, as well, if you're up for like a short hack and slash.
I'm pretty sure I have it, actually. I just haven't played it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's...
I sort of feel the same. I might have it somewhere.
Yeah, maybe possibly, yeah. Like, I don't think it was ever that expensive. I think it was one of those games that was like $12.50.
Yeah.
Like, it was... Yeah, it's not a really expensive game either, so... Cool. I think, are we over to Steve?
Yes. Can I talk about it then? Is that okay?
You're allowed. Yeah.
Sorry.
Permission granted, Steve.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I thought you were going to
sorry,
have a funny witty comment or something before.
Yeah, sorry, it was a really shit segue for me. Sorry.
Here, I'll do it for you. And now on to our most handsome member, Steve, to talk about his second game.
Go for it.
Yeah, so continuing the theme of katana, samurai, ninja shit. I've been playing Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2.
Cool.
This is the this isn't the remake that came out last year. Now this is the original, well, sort of the original. There's so many bloody versions of Ninja Gaiden games, kind of hard to keep track. But this is the one that came out as part of the Master Collection a few years back. So yeah, I use.
Oh,
probably know that Ninja Gaiden games are hard as fuck.
Yeah.
And can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. So yeah, like the original game, crazy hard. And I kind of felt like the barrier for entry for that one was way too high. I didn't really enjoy that one quite as much as I enjoyed this one. This one I feel is incredible. It feels amazing to play. The combat is really satisfying. And the story is batshit insane. It really doesn't matter. Like, you're fighting demons. At one point you fight the Statue of Liberty. And that literally happens for just because you're just fighting like a living Statue of Liberty. And the weirdest thing is, once you kill it, like, it sinks into the sea and then it cuts to a different scene and it's right back where it started for some reason. Anyway. Yeah, it's an excellent game. It's kind of an easy game to talk about because all you really need to know is the combat is some of the best you'll ever experience in your life. It is really satisfying. Like, it's very twitch heavy, but this game is much more forgiving, I would say, than the original game, because I remember having so many game overs in that game. This one has a really interesting health system where you have regular HP and your max HP. And if you take a lot of hits, your max HP goes down, and you can only recover it with healing items or by saving. But your regular HP, you regain that at the end of every single skirmish. So, like, when you're going into the next fight, like, you've pretty much got full HP minus like the max HP that you lost. This is a really good system. Like, it means that, like, you basically have to get through one fight at a time, and if you can get through one fight, then you're kind of safe until the next fight, as opposed to the original game, which basically, you were just trying desperately to find the next save point just so you could survive. Really good system. Yeah.
Can I ask Steve, sorry, is this so I played a bit of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. Is this like the same game, but that's a different version?
I tell you what you should do. You should look at like internet forums and like check the answer to that question. People who like are really into these games will scream that Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is like the superior version. Right. The Sigma versions, like, they tweak the difficulty. I haven't played Black and I haven't played like the originals, like, so this is all I have to go on, but I really enjoyed this.
Well, I can tell you Black was so fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like I bounced off it because it was that difficult. But I recognize this level because I think this is the opening level maybe.
I think it is all right, yeah. I would actually, do you know what? I think I would probably recommend Sigma then, because like a lot of people seem to say that, you know, oh, the original Ninja Gaiden Sigma game is, you know, shit, like, or it's like close enough to the original game that's fine.
Right.
But they seem to hate this one because they're like, no, they fucked up the difficulty completely. It's not like a satisfying game anymore. But for me, I'm like, no, this is perfect. This is great. Like, this is an actual playable game now. Like, I imagine you'd be like me, because like, you know, some people like they want their games to be really fucking hard and you know, like milliseconds to like react times to stuff, but this game, like the Sigma version, definitely makes it more accessible. I hate that it's called Sigma. I hate saying that.
Sigma. It's just got connotations now.
Yeah, I know. But I would actually recommend this game even more than the first one, like, because they tweak it to make it more accessible, and again, they've got like 3 higher difficulties above the original difficulty. Like, I played it on what was so-called normal, but like forums have told me like, oh, normal mode is just easy mode basically. But you know,
fucking hell. Yeah.
I know like it's quite toxic actually. But like I found it like it was a little easy. I will say slightly easy, and I'm kind of like, I could maybe give hard mode a go, which is exactly what you want in a game. You know, like if you're going into it and thinking like this was kind of easy, like I'm kind of like I could maybe go for the higher difficulty. That's the sweet point. That's the sweet part where like, yeah, okay, I might actually replay this again. Like that's what you want in an action game. So I would say this is the superior version, but that's probably a very unpopular opinion, I'd say.
For the purists out there, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. If you do decide to play it though, Sean, I would recommend don't do it while Faye is in the room, because there are tits for days in this game. They are everywhere, like all over the place. And
tits for days. Weeks of them.
There was this girl in it. She was full of tits. There's apparently, I was looking this up recently, but in the PS3 version of this game, right, apparently the 6-axis controller, if you shook it, you could make the girls like boobs wiggle.
I'm glad they're using the technology for what it was intended for, really.
After I read it, I came back to see if it worked in the Switch version, but apparently they modded that out.
Yeah, Nintendo ain't gonna do that shit, man.
Oh yeah, but it's wild. Yeah, no, I'd recommend it. This is an excellent game. Really, really fun. Really, really fun to play, I have to say. And I would probably play it again. I'd say it's that level of fun.
Amazing.
Nice.
Cool,
man.
So now we're later on we're going to count down our personal top 5 games we played last year. But before that, let's just have a quick review of the Game Awards, or as I like to call them, the Clear Obscure Awards. And yeah, was the biggest sweep ever at the Game Awards for any game.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, they got nominated. I think it was the most nominations as well.
I think Elden Ring was the closest before that one, wasn't it? That had the most recommendations, but Clair Obscur like blew that out of the water this time around as well.
Yeah, I read recently that Game of the Year awards, like from any publication, Clair Obscur is after beating Elden Ring recently, which is like just a separate point, but like it's a bit of a misleading thing because there's so many small publications now that do Game of the Year awards that it's a bit of a nebulous thing. Like almost any game can bring out a Game of the Year edition because you know they can find somebody who gave it the Game of the Year. But I don't know. I'm a person who's a little cooler on Clair Obscur than a lot of people. I think it does a lot of things right, but as a whole, it didn't blow me away quite as much as it did other people. So I would have liked to have seen some other games get, you know, some awards recognition here and there. But
like
Silksong, now I completely, if I'm taking a step back from my own feelings on it, I completely understand why, you know, Silksong is a very harsh game in a lot of ways, not just in terms of difficulty, but like it's not quite as accessible as something like Clair Obscur. So I can understand why people might have felt less generous towards it. But I don't know. It wouldn't have been my pick for all of these awards. That would be the main thing I would say.
Yeah, definitely. And like the indie awards it won is very kind of controversial as well.
Yeah. Because that's part of why I think there was such momentum behind it, is the meta narrative behind the game.
Yeah.
And that's often, like, you see this with the Oscars as well, like, oh, this person, there's a lot of momentum behind them because they haven't won before and they should deserve it.
Yeah.
And things like that. And for this, they had a lot of things going on. People said, oh, it's the comeback of turn-based RPGs. It's a very narrative-forward game. It's debatably an indie game and a very small studio who made something AA quality in a lot of ways. And all that momentum, there was a great narrative behind the game, which sort of made it easier for people to vote for it in some ways. I don't know, just like mechanically, it doesn't really do it for me, or narratively in the same way some of the other nominees did. But, you know, saying that, it is nice to see something that isn't from one of the big studios.
I mean, I think it deserved a lot of awards, to be fair, but it's just the fact that it swept up everything when there was so much good competition as well. It's kind of teetering on, like, is this fair to everyone? Kind of, I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about it. But but
the thing,
sorry,
do you know what I'm worried about with this? It's just that, like, now, because this isn't like Claire Obscure's fault, and I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to start getting like a bit, you know, colder on it now as a result of this. You know, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a bit similar to like when BioShock Infinite like got all the recognition, and now retroactively people are looking back on that and saying like, oh, that game wasn't quite as good as everyone said it was, you know, just because lots of people seem to like it at the time.
And you don't want, like, there's a bit of it's reactionary, really. It's, oh, this thing is really popular and beloved, and there's a contrarian sort of backlash to that sometimes. Whereas I'm an original hater who hated it from day one. No, I didn't hate it. I actually liked the game, but just not. I don't know. It's that thing, like when I was talking up 1,000 Times Resist, and if you go into that with this huge expectation, then you're going to expect something amazing, and that can sometimes count against you. So it may have some impact on their next game. Who knows?
I mean, I did enjoy it quite a lot more than I thought I would. But as a whole, it's not really my type of game. I wouldn't play another game like that. Do you know what I mean? Like it didn't change my opinion really on turn-based combat games. Do you know?
That's funny, because for a lot of people, they said it did as well. Like, it's like, because that's one of its, I think, best points for me, is that it made a very accessible battle system.
100%. I agree. Like, it didn't deter me from completing the game. Do you know? Like, I enjoyed my time with it, but I won't be in a rush to play another one. But that's simply just because they're not my type of game, really, you know? But I just wanted to quickly, if that's okay, list out the categories that it won, if that's okay, just for Claire Obscure. So Game of the Year, obviously, it won Best Game Direction, Best Narrative, Best Art Direction, Best Score and Music, Best Performance for Jennifer English,
It had like most of the nominees as well.
Oh, it did actually. It had 3 of the 5, Best Independent Game, Best Debut Indie Game, Best RPG. Is that it? Let's see. Yes.
Best role playing? Did you say best role
Best
playing?
RPG, that was all of them, but that was most of them as well.
Like, part of me thinks, like, give debut indie to someone else, but like, you can't. These awards are voted for by a big panel, so it's not like we can say, oh, we're giving this one to this one, so let's give another one to a different game. It doesn't work like that.
No, but I think we talked about on a previous podcast about the controversy around the debut indie category, because one of the games their developer dropped out because I think it was Ball X Pit. Actually.
No, it was it was like Vampire Survivors but 3D. I can't remember the name of it now.
Yeah. Sorry, it wasn't. But yeah, it was a different game. But anyway, that developer, it was his debut game under that moniker. But he said that he had made other games in the past, so it wasn't his first ever game, which was like very honourable of him to admit and drop out. But then because of that, there was a lot of people calling for Clair Obscur to drop out because a lot of that studio is former Ubisoft devs.
And there was a lot of money behind Clair Obscur in comparison to other ones. But
yeah, I mean that's fine. But like, I think
what defines an indie is a bit of a grey area, and is maybe it needs rewording or something.
I definitely think from the standpoint of, is this your first commercial game? No matter like under this studio name, just in general, like maybe that needs to come into the
It's difficult though because so many studios are made up of whatever developers, but this is an edge case in a lot of ways because there was so much industry experience behind it and more money and people than was initially clear, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like you don't want to restrict that category down to a max of 3 people made this game.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, maybe they should bring a category for like best solo developer or something. You know?
But then you get into like Toby Fox is a solo developer on Undertale, but one guy helped him with the coding, and it's like, oh yeah, you're disqualified. You know?
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's a really difficult thing to. But I don't know. It just it didn't excite me, and and it really should on paper because like it's quote unquote an indie game from a genre that wasn't popular, that was punching above its weight in terms of, you know, its graphics and stuff like that, even though I'm not as hot on its visual style as other people. But yeah, it just seemed like a foregone conclusion, which isn't very exciting around awards time. You know, sometimes you want a big surprise, something left field to come out and win.
I think, it was.
But that's not Clair Obscur's fault.
No, it was just, and I think as well because that game came out so early in the year. It was around March.
Yeah, it was quite early. Yeah,
and it was like, what's going to top this for the rest of the year? And I guess nothing did really to that extent. So it was talked about all year, and by the time the Game Awards came out, foregone conclusion that it was going to win. And I think. Yeah, everybody sat around watching the Game Awards live. It was just like, I wonder what's winning this category, you know?
I thought it was funny that the Silksong developers, Team Cherry, came out they were interviewed before the Game Awards and said, and we're not going to win. Like, it's going to be Clair Obscur, you know, we're not going to win anything. And then they won Best Action Adventure or something, which is one of those awards that are just like mentioned briefly in between game trailers, and Jeff Keighley said something like, "Hey, look, you did win one," or something like that. I'm sort of like, yeah, okay, fair, but you know, you've all these mini ones, which you know, it's the big ones that people care about. I feel.
Yeah, but then there's the whole thing as well of like a lot of those categories should be given their time as well, you know, instead of just rattling them off. But yeah. Do we want to talk about any of the other winners? I'll just quickly mention a couple of other games that won awards. Battlefield 6 won Best Audio Design.
Well, of course you'd mention that.
Yeah. Well, it won. What can I say? It bet Clair Obscur in that category. Finally. So. Doom: The Dark Ages won Innovation in Accessibility. South of Midnight won Games for Impact. No Man's Sky Best Ongoing Game. Baldur's Gate 3 Best Community Support. Best Mobile Game. I actually can't even say the name of this. Uma Musamu Pretty Derby won Best Mobile Game. So yeah,
man, you just insulted Michael's mother in Japanese.
Fair, as long as this is Japanese, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you going to say, Steve?
Can I there's just one that I want to mention that kind of highlights why I think the Game Awards is kind of bullshit. And that was the winner of the Best Sim Strategy was Final Fantasy Tactics, the remake. And that one kind of feels very stupid to me because, and Sean, you should probably be getting angry at this as well because The Alters was in that one. And that's a game that like everyone was like talking about, raving about, and like to give it to a game that is basically a remake, and the only thing they really tweaked in the remake was like the graphics and like maybe some of the cutscenes. The gameplay isn't changed, so like what are we doing here? Like we're awarding a game that came out essentially like 30 years ago.
I hadn't actually seen that one, Steve, and Civilization is in that as well, which is like one of the biggest and most popular strategy games. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that is insane.
And it is a little of lumping together a lot of games that aren't really that similar in some ways, but we just need a catch-all term for them. So it's a bit unfair. And like The Alters is a great example of something that seemed very innovative and
Completely.
also was like visually cool, like wasn't like a standard looking indie game by any means. And something like that to get more nominations would have been amazing. I think that was a surprise for some people at The Alters, especially in performance.
Yeah, there was no. I don't think he was even nominated.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So crazy, man.
And he's playing like what, 9 people or something
11.
in that game? So 11,
11
Jesus,
different characters. Yeah. Well, they're all the same person, but yeah.
That's lazy, really, isn't it? That's why he wasn't nominated.
11 personalities. So there you go.
Sure, I have 11 personalities. Don't hear me going on about it.
Well, not you, but the other Michael always goes on about it.
Yeah, fair.
Shall we move on to our games of the year?
Yeah, let's do it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll start off at number 5, I guess.
Are you all right there? Do you need a glass of water?
I would love a glass of water. If you can get me one from Japan, that'd be great. Or what's it called? Pocari Sweat?
What?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
What's that?
Pocari Sweat's like not an energy drink. It has electrolytes in it or something.
It's a hydration drink. A lot of like
Lucozade.
runners and but healthier than Lucozade. It's similar.
It's fucking tasty, is all I'm going to say.
Nice.
I drank gallons of the shit when I was in Japan because I went in August.
Great.
Yeah, it was boiling.
Great for hangovers.
Yeah, very good actually. So number 5 on my list is a game I'm going to mispronounce probably. Je sens.
Oh, sick.
Je sens. I think. I don't know.
Oh, is that the climbing one?
It's the climbing one, yeah. It's so this just really beautiful game. It's a rare example of a game that I wanted to be a bit longer. Because it sort of ends, it jumps forward to the end quite abruptly, like what I felt was like 3/4 of the way through the game, basically. So it seems like one way or they might have ran out of money and they wanted to expand it more, but really enjoyable. It does such interesting things with varying up the visuals, even though you're on one mountain. They find a lot of variety in it. Very calming, relaxing, mechanically just right in that sweet spot of like not too difficult or fiddly, but complex enough to keep you engaged and constantly like a nice difficulty curve ramping up towards the end. And it has that beautiful thing that some games do of being like wordless in a lot of ways. It has some like text logs that you can look back on, but the main narrative you can just like enjoy somewhat passively. Just great vibes, to be honest. And I could have done with a little bit more of it, but a really pleasant surprise. Not a game I thought I was going to engage with as much as I thought, really.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected it to be on your top 5, but it's a brilliant game. I played it through it as well, and just a really relaxing experience too. Do you know? Yeah.
It kicked off what would have been in there was RoboCop Rogue City, but that was, RoboCop again. Basically, I really enjoy it, but it's a bit janky and it's my shit. But just stuck with me a bit more, really. Over to you, Sean, for your number 5.
Nice. Yeah, we're doing quick fire on these guys because a lot of them we've talked about before, I suppose.
Yeah.
So sorry, I need to get my list up here. For my number 5, so actually another relaxing game, which I talked about before, hurdling.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so kind of similar reasons on your pick for Jusant. It was like just a really beautiful, like relaxing experience.
Sorry,
of a game.
Jusant.
Sorry. It was a game. I think I was in like I said previously. I think I was in the right headspace when I played this game. I just was looking for a break in fast-paced action games or whatever. And going into this, I knew nothing about it. It was a pretty short experience. I think actually, kind of, I would say you could have done with a little bit more as well.
Yeah.
But it didn't. I think it was a nice length. Could have done with a little bit more. It kind of seems like you get to a certain point in the game, and then you're looking for like more meaning as well. But then the story, there's not really much of a story, and it's very kind of like just left up to your own interpretation of like why the characters are there, what they're doing. But yeah, I mean, it's a game you don't really have to put too much thought into it. Like you don't have to like dig too deep into the story either.
Just on that length thing, it's the same thing I had with Jason. It's sort of a nice feeling in a way of wanting more. I guess it's better than the alternative because there's so many games where I'm like, I just need to get to the end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I never felt that. Like you said, no, it was cool. And I went and, because I wanted more, I went and 100%ed that game then as well. So I replayed chapters to get collectibles and things like that, which was fun. And then by the time I was done that, I was like, cool, now I've had my fill.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Also, as I mentioned before, this is Okomotive, who the guys that made Far Lone Sails and Far Changing Tides, those games. So I was really looking forward to seeing what they were going to come out with next, and it was something completely different in a lot of ways. So I'm really looking forward to see what they come out with next after this. But really nice, chill experience.
Cool. Yeah.
Over to you, Steve.
Well, I'm going to ruin the theming now that we've gone for with all this cool, relaxing games. Just to clarify one more thing, as we said in previous best of our year lists, these aren't of the year they came out. These are just games that we played during the year. So my number 5 game of the year was Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. Cool. This is part of the Castlevania Advance Collection. It's usually cited as one of the best Castlevania games. It's really, really tight, well polished. I know, Michael, you're big on Castlevanias now. This is one I definitely recommend. I know the graphics are like really rudimentary. It is like a Game Boy Advance game essentially, but it's just really, really well done. Almost no there is repetition. It's a Castlevania game, but that is something that like previous Game Boy Advance Castlevanias had problems with, where like going through areas again was kind of boring, whereas in this one, like, they managed to keep it interesting all the time. Really, really great soul system they have here. So like every enemy has a chance of dropping its soul, which will give you a unique ability, and there's like hundreds of like these monsters all over the place. So like there's all these different moves that you can get in the game. I think when I wrote a review of it, I said my favorite one was there's like a demon chef that you fight, and he gives you a kind of an exploding curry move. So like you throw a plate of curry on the floor ahead of you and it just bursts into flame. And that was like one of my favorite moves. So it's got like, a fun sense of humor as well. It takes place in the modern day, so it's quite different from your standard Castlevania games. So
this does not look like the modern day at all. Like, he hasn't got a phone.
It's, I mean, this happens all the time when it's the modern day. Like it's like a castle appears in the modern day, so he is in a castle but in the modern day.
Okay, fair.
So like this character, he's like a college student in Tokyo, so it's, and I think I forget his name, but I think he's like one of the more popular new characters now. Alucard is always like the most popular, but he's a really popular one. So I'd definitely recommend it to anyone who likes Metroidvanias. Don't know if you guys know anyone like that, but I would definitely push that. Over to you, Michael, for your number 4.
So number 4 is, I said it'd be mentioned again, but it's Final Fantasy. So this year I went back and replayed, or played for the first time, the first 3 entries, the pixel remasters of 1, 2, and 3. And it was pretty hard to choose between 1 and 3, because I really enjoyed both of them for a lot of similar reasons. Not 2, no. And which we will get to. And but I had to go for 3 just because it's a little more narratively and mechanically complex than 1. But weirdly, the thing I loved about revisiting these games is how simple they were in comparison to the later Final Fantasies, which sometimes added mechanics for the sake of changing it up, or and some of them work better than others. But having a simple adventure you could sort of somewhat turn your brain off and enjoy was just really fantastic. Tree's got a really nice pace to it as well. Quite a good curve, difficulty curve, and really fucking good music. Like it would rank really high on like we've said this before, and I'm sure Steve would agree that all the Final Fantasies have great music, no matter how good the game is. But this one just really stood out to me. I think it's the best of the NES era scores, if from my opinion, anyway. And it throws some really interesting scenarios in. Like there's areas like you'll see on screen where you're all you're minied, so you have to find a way of getting through areas without using your attacks in the same way. So it already back this far, they were thinking about ways to use the narrative to make the mechanics a little more interesting as you're going through the game. Yeah, just really enjoyed it. I'm delighted I've gone back and played these games, because I was initially like a little wary because people like warned me off how sort of obscure they are. Like there is lots of I don't know where to go next on the map, and I have the whole world map to explore. But it wasn't too bad for that. I think 2 is a lot worse for that. Maybe 1 as well is a little more less, like it's a bit less clear on like your next destination. But I really enjoyed it, I have to say.
Nice. Cool, man.
Oh yeah, Sean. Whatever.
Cool. So for my number 4, can't remember what it is. I'll have to wait for it to come on screen. Oh yeah, Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I had this game for a while in my backlog. I've talked about it before on a podcast. It got a lot of hate when it first released for a variety of reasons. There were a lot of bugs in the gameplay. There was a female character, a melee character as well, which we know is a death sentence for any game.
We hate those.
It's funny that there are reviewers that like that's -1 star.
It's crazy, man. Yeah. But yeah, like not the biggest Star Wars fan, even though I have played a few of their games, few Star Wars games. But I am a big fan of massive studios with The Division, and they brought a lot of that DNA here in Star Wars Outlaws. This is completely open world Star Wars. There's no you're just playing a regular scoundrel, as they say in the in the bio. I think
a bit of a scamp.
Yeah,
but a smidge.
But you've no. But there's no like Jedi superpowers. There's no lightsabers or anything like that. You're just kind of like embedded in the Star Wars universe as a regular character and trying to get by. There is a bigger story arc for your character, obviously, but I had a lot more fun with it than I thought I would. I was actually gonna go for 100% in this as well, but I moved on to something else. But the world was very fun to explore. There's, I think, a total of 4 planets you can go to, and there's a huge map on each planet. Then there's also space combat as well around each of the planets, and things to explore in space, like different space stations and stuff like that. Yeah, it's very cool game. Like they patched it to hell. So
all the bugs have been fixed.
All the bugs have been fixed. It's a much more.
But did they patch the
experience.
woman out of it?
Unfortunately, no. But, no, joking, of course. Yeah, no, very, very enjoyable open world Star Wars game, and I think was undeserving of a lot of the hate it got. And there's actually been a little bit of a turn now with people going back to the game since it actually just released on Game Pass as well. So I think it's finding a more of a bigger audience now, which is good. And yeah, I'd recommend even if you're not into Star Wars, but you're just looking for some kind of an open world cover shooter, like it's decent.
Well, I'm not, but thank you. It does look good though.
Yeah,
does look good.
Yeah. No, I mean, when I was going through my list for top 5 of the year, it was like, yeah, do you know, I put a lot of hours into it, and I never really got bored of it. So yeah, no, it's good. Over to you, Steve.
Nice. Yeah, so my top number 4 of the year was Attack on Titan 2 Final Battle.
This gem.
Sean,
No, I'm not being sarcastic.
It sounds like you're being sarcastic.
It really does, yeah.
No, this game is excellent. I think when I was talking about it, when I uploaded it, I was listening back, and all I said was, "It's really good. It's really good. It's really good. The combat is good." All I can say is good. Like, I had no other adjectives that I could use for this, so I'm going to try not to say the word good. The combat is really satisfying. It's high octane, very intense. And it means that it's really engaging during the battle scenes, that you really, really feel that you're on the knife's edge. Like, you could lose at any moment. So that's how it feels like when you're fighting a lot of the time. It's very, trying so hard not to say it's really good, but it is like very satisfying. It's so much fun. Actually, fun was the word I was using, I think, rather than good. But it is an hell of a lot of fun, just like latching onto one Titan, trying to bring him down, like either by weakening his limbs or just going straight in for the kill on the back of the neck. Every individual Titan is like its own mini level of strategy. So, and there's lots of ways you can prepare for missions in advance of this, like with your loadout, what weapons you have equipped, which characters you choose to play as. So, and it's a really engaging game. It's one I plan to go back to, because it's one of those ones, even though it's very intense, high octane, all those other adjectives, you can also kind of switch off while you're playing it as well, because you are doing a lot of the same thing again and again, but it never gets boring, is the thing. So it's not higher on the list because it does have those weird in-betweeny mission bits, which are necessary, I would say. You kind of need it in between the missions in order to kind of keep that ebb and flow. But the in-between mission parts are just kind of dull. Like, you're going in, you're talking to party members, trying to give them presents so that they'll be nicer to you in battle, etc., etc. It's not particularly engaging, but I understand it's a necessary evil. But that's why it's not quite as high on this list.
I really need to go back and finish the series. I never finished the series, actually. So.
Same. As it happens, I was a bit wary starting this because I was like, I haven't finished the last series, but this actually finishes up at the end of series 3. So if you've seen that much, then you're fine.
Perfect. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Toss it over to you there, Michael, for your number 3.
So my top 3 changed so much, but I think all my top 3 for me are just like stone cold classics, like fucking top tier. But I made a choice anyway. Number 3 is Astrobot, and it's like the most fun game ever. Sorry to steal your word, Steve, but
you bastard.
it's just so much fun. Like, it's perfect. When I finished it, I would have instantly started it again just to replay it.
Wow.
And like, not like just to collect trophies or anything, just to start from scratch, just to play all the levels again. Like, the amount of ideas they throw in and then just abandon, and because they're like, we've another good idea coming. It's really impressive. The visual style is great. It's like, surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, but it's a very graphically intense game in a lot of ways. I don't mean that in a bad way. It does a lot of cool things with like water effects and particle effects, and certain materials just look really realistic, but still in this very bright and colorful way. Music's excellent, and just so much fun to play. And it has that whole, the thing I talked about when I initially reviewed it was with you guys, was the feeling of it's a bit of a corporate, advertisement. And that has negative connotations, but also positive in some ways, because you're meeting all these old PlayStation characters, and there's a lot of nostalgia tied up in that. And it's very fun to see who the next character you're going to see is. So yeah, like it's so much, it's so not relieving isn't the word I'm looking for. It's just a nice surprise to play a really high budget 3D platformer, and it's really good as well. I can't wait to see what they make next. I hope they make another Astrobot, to be honest. But it could be something else entirely, and I'd be okay with that, because I sort of get the feeling that this team could do anything they wanted, really.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, what, if they made another game that wasn't specifically tied to PlayStation, like, would it be just as good? You know, and then maybe they could like port that to Switch or something as well.
Well, it is no, it's a PlayStation studio, so Team
I know that, yeah.
But yeah, like nowadays there's a bit like Xbox games are coming to PlayStation, so anything can happen, and it does rival Mario in a lot of ways. That's the whole narrative around it. It takes a lot from the Mario games, but it does it in like an excellent A+ way across the board. So really fun game. You don't even need to be into 3D platformers, I think. But if you are, you see a lot of the not references, but like things they took or are sort of reflecting past entries in the genre. Yeah, really excellent game. I'd go home and play it now, honestly.
Class.
Well, we've got 2 more to do, so if you wouldn't, that'd be great.
Yeah. Sean, over to you for your number 3.
Cool. Yeah, so my number 3 for 2025 is Chronos: The New Dawn. So yeah, so I only finished this recently enough, just before Christmas. Yeah, brilliant survival horror from Bloober Team, who you'll know from the Silent Hill 2 remake. I didn't play that, but I do plan on playing it eventually. I had played the Medium before this, which I talked about, which is another Bloober Team game. They nailed it in this game. Like the atmosphere is incredible. The shooting mechanics and the inventory the inventory.
I was going to in that way.
I was going to say asset management, but I mean the inventory management is really good. Like enemies are tough in this game, and but by that I mean they do take like quite a few rounds to go down.
And you have to set them on fire as well, so they don't merge with other ones. Is that right?
So yeah, setting them on fire will kind of like the Evil Within, if anybody remembers that gem. And I'm not being sarcastic when I say gem. That it will get rid of the bodies, but your ability to set them on fire is limited. So you have like a kind of a flamethrower on your suit that will shoot out like a burst of flame, but you can only carry 1 cartridge of it at a time. So once that's gone, you can craft more if you have the supply to craft them, or you always in save rooms you always get resupplied 1 if you don't have one on you currently. So yeah, you kind of have to use that strategically, because there's also some areas of the game that will be covered in like a growth or like a wall of kind of flesh growth, and the only way to get through that is to burn it off using your flamethrower. If you're lucky, there might be an explosive barrel nearby you can shoot, but then you're spending a round to do that, and like ammo is very scarce in this game.
But this is what I want to hear from a survival horror. Limited supplies, and you've interesting decisions to make in terms of how you use them, and that's like the genre in a nutshell.
No,
in some ways.
100%, and they nailed that. Like there was, it's almost to the point that I was like, oh, I could softlock myself here because I ran out of ammo. Like there was one area in it where you have to survive 3 waves of enemies, and the final enemy you face is like a huge merged enemy that's really hard to take down, and I ran out of ammo. And luckily, somehow I managed to defeat him by just hitting him a few times, because I'd already taken his health down quite a bit, and then I was trying to get him to walk into traps and stuff, and that wasn't working. So then I just started punching him, and eventually I got him. But I was out of med kits, I was so low health.
But isn't that perfect?
Yeah, no, it was an amazing.
You don't want to end with a load of ammo. You want to end just with your last bullet.
100%. It was an amazing feeling. And then I was like, cool, the game's going to restock me loads now because I spent all my resources. There was like 5 pistol bullets in the next round. That was it. I was like, great.
Oh god.
Yeah. So no, it's a brilliant game. It's like a decent length as well. There's unfortunately there's no chapter select in it, and I realized, like, once I completed it, I was like, oh, sick, yeah, I'm gonna 100% this as well now, because I loved it. And I realized there was like one thing, or there was one door I missed in like level 3 or something like that, and I'm like, shit, I have to like go all the way back to get that, you know, but I can't, so I'd have to replay the game straight away. But I do plan on doing that eventually, because there is once you complete the game, you unlock hard mode, and there was like some people were complaining about this. That was like, why don't you just give us that option from the start? But there's no difficulty setting at the start. It's one of those games you just jump into, and this is how hard the game is, guys. But it's very hard already. So I'm interested to see how it is with the hard mode. You can play that on New Game Plus though. So you carry all your weapon upgrades and stuff forward with you. So I think that should make it a bit easier. And apparently the developers are bringing out an easy mode too, because people have said it's too difficult. But yeah, it's I'd say like scariness wise, it's not that scary. I've played scarier survival horror games. It's really all about like the atmosphere in this. Like I think it's up there with, like, it's very Dead Space inspired, as you can see from the visuals in it. I'd say it's even not as scary as Dead Space though. It's a little less than that. But
it seems to be more in that RE4 sort of anxious because of the amount of enemies at you and your limited ammo, rather than something spooky's around the corner. Yeah,
there's only certain moments where you do get overwhelmed with enemies, and usually like you should be able to deal with it, or at the very least you can actually, there's some areas where you can avoid the enemies too. But yeah, it's more like there's a lot of just creeping around like with no enemies and like wondering where they're going to come from kind of thing, you know. So it's a lot of suspense and atmosphere, and the story is really interesting too. It's I didn't know what to expect from it going in, but it's really cool. There's a few, I won't spoil anything in it, but just go play it. If you're into survival horror, this is definitely a decent one to play.
Cool.
This sounds a lot like The Evil Within to me, which would probably tell you exactly how I think of. Like, I'm still going to play it, I feel like it's going to be a lot like The Evil Within kind of situation as well. I'm going to have to play it.
Besides burning enemies, I wouldn't. Maybe I know. Roll. I see what you're talking about. Are you talking about story wise, Steve? It's like not like that.
Tonally is what I'm going for, because like again, like it's kind of like selling itself as a horror game, but like not being too scary. Like that to me screams Evil Within.
Okay, I'll just let you play and see what you think.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Cool. Over to you, Steve, for your number 3.
So a real horror game that I played. So my number 3 game was a little game that not many people might have heard of, called Anatomy. This was the tiny little indie game that you can pick up, I think it's in dollars, it's something like $2 or $3. It's really, really cheap, and you can finish it in an hour. Very simple game, but just again, one of the scariest experiences I have ever encountered. Like absolutely terrifying, while at the same time using the most minimalist setting, the most minimalist like effects you can possibly imagine. I cannot explain how they did what they did in this, but it was just incredible. Just to reiterate what the game is about, you kind of come into a house and you find it's completely abandoned and all the lights are off. You find a tape recorder, and basically, you realize, okay, somebody has hidden tapes. There's one tape in the tape recorder that says, "I've hidden tapes all around this house. Please find them." Not in so many words, but basically that's the gist of it. And you have to find all these tapes. I can't say any more than that because that would pretty much spoil it. But it's really, really, really unsettling, and will probably give you a hard time sleeping if you play it.
Not for me.
Yeah, no, I just looking at this, I mean, that's like instantly just make the hallway pitch black. Yeah. But you have to go down it. It's like, I'm all right.
I can turn off the game.
I would love for you guys to play it. Michael, I'm not sure if you would. I don't know, because I know you're very anti like very scary games.
Scared.
But Sean, I'd love to see you play this game, see what you think of it. It is very scary, and it's got very interesting themes running through it as well. It's like it sparks discussion when you play it, so that's why I'd love someone to talk to about it. But Yeah,
Maybe I'll give it a go with all the lights on. See.
Yeah.
Like I've seen, like I like the style of it. Like I feel like I've seen other games that are like this, where you're moving through, darkened hallways and stuff. And
Oh
well,
yeah.
I know you're not going to give anything away, and like, but yeah, usually there's an enemy that'll chase you or something, and you don't know where it. But yeah, I won't. I know you don't want to give away the story or not the story, but the gameplay.
Yeah, I'll say nothing.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, maybe I'll give it a go. Is it on? How did you play it, Steve?
Oh, it's an itch.io game, so like it's not on
okay.
Steam or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Pass it over to Michael for his number 2 game.
So, number 2 is a stone cold classic from back in the day. It's Super Metroid.
Yes.
Which I played back at the beginning of the year, and it like there's no other way to put it than they nailed it at the beginning. Really, it's one of the grandfathers or grandmothers, I should say, of the Metroidvania genre.
Ooh.
And I initially thought I'm going to go back and like miss the quality of life stuff, modern controls, things like that. But you just can't argue with perfect level design. It's so well laid out, the way it loops back, the way levels are connected, the interesting ways that you access new areas, which aren't always like, they don't put a big map marker on and say, oh, now your rocket can open this door. It expects you to figure things out in some interesting ways. The gameplay feels great. It takes a little while to get used to it first if you're used to like more modern controls, but because like aiming up needs a shoulder button and stuff like that. But it finds really interesting ways to teach you mechanics. Like one of the most famous examples, which Steve will know, is where you see some of these native animals jumping up a wall, so you have to do the wall jump, which the only thing against the game is that fucking wall jump is so hard to do.
Yeah.
By the end of the game, I nailed it, but like it's such a tricky wall jump. Amazing atmosphere as well, which is not something I usually would accuse Nintendo games of having for all their qualities. But it just has this sort of not bleak atmosphere, but you feel alone in an alien world, and this sort of cool 80s almost Escape from New York vibe. Not sure if that's the best example, but like it just gives me the hint of that time period. Brilliant music as well. And it also does set pieces amazingly well. So like, which isn't something Metroidvanias do as a whole a lot, because you're meant to be able to tackle certain areas in any order. It doesn't often do like big set pieces or events. But there's one boss battle that sort of catches you off guard in the middle of the game, which is exactly one of those. And amazing game. It's one of the best Metroidvanias I've played. It's near perfect. There's not really many flaws I could level at it. It's the perfect length. Its difficulty curve, you don't even feel it. The rate of upgrades is very well judged as well. And it was a really pleasant surprise, because I thought I would bounce off it the way I can sometimes with older games. But it's not easy, but it's accessible, is what I would say. If you put the time in, I think it starts quite obscure. It does not tell you what to do at the beginning, but you figure it out eventually, and it's all the more satisfying for figuring things out by yourself. So yeah, one of the best in the genre for a reason. Perfect game.
I am delighted that you reacted to this game pretty much the exact same way I reacted to it when I first played it. That's great to hear, because I like you, like I didn't play this like when it came out. I played this, I think, when it was released on the Wii store thing, like like around that time. But yeah, God, delighted that you loved it as much as I did. That's fantastic.
I need to go back now and try the older Castlevanias, because I tried Symphony in the Night and I bounced off it. But maybe I need to give it another shot as well. It's just it's the movement in that game that I don't really fuck with. But maybe I just have to give it time and learn it. I don't know.
I get where you're coming from because I sort of bounced off Symphony of the Night as well. I'd recommend the Game Boy Advance ones because they're, in my opinion, they're better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, cool.
Very good. Throwing it over to Sean for his number 2.
Class. Yeah, from
number
my
2.
His big shit.
My number 2 is Battlefield 6.
Why is that funny? I don't know what it is. To be honest, I would have thought this would be number 1, so very interesting.
Oh, okay.
So am I.
Well, okay, so I'm speaking purely about the multiplayer here because the story was very forgettable, or the campaign wasn't that good compared to other Battlefield campaigns. It just didn't really hit. Yeah, so it was a little bit of a cop out of a campaign, I feel. But the multiplayer, yeah, it's some of the best in the series. I mean, I really enjoy Battlefield 5, even though a lot of people didn't like it. I would say but I think this is probably the best since Battlefield 3 and 4.
Yeah.
It's, I will say I got a bit burnt out by it. I'm not currently playing it actively. The way they're doing the seasons in the game and like the battle pass and all that is very grindy, which is kind of the way all these live service games are going now. Unfortunately, but again, you don't have to play the game like that. You don't have to worry about the battle pass at all. Just play the game the way you want it, you know. But yeah, just the moment to moment gameplay is brilliant in it. The feel of the game, like they really gave fans what they've been asking for years now. I just hope it stays that way. Like there's already been a few kind of bumps in the road when it comes to the aesthetic of the game and things like that like the worry is they're just gonna go for like the Fortnite gamers and stuff, you know. But there has been a lot of backlash about little things that they've tried to get in there, and season 2 is around the corner, so we'll see. There's meant to be bigger maps coming. There's meant to be a few classic Battlefield maps being remade for it as well, which will be cool to see. Yeah, just a great Battlefield experience if you're into that genre. Yeah, jump in.
Sick. Cool.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. And yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Yeah, I think I had to I played nothing but this for like a month. And so it was no wonder I got burned out by it.
You need a breather from it for a bit.
Exactly, yeah. And I had like a backlog of games there. Like I really want to play them, but I'm in so that's what I'm kind of doing at the moment. I'm going through other games and I'll come back to this one when season 2 drops. So
cool.
Over to Steve for your number 2.
Sick. So my number 2 game probably won't come as a huge surprise to anyone is Silent Hill 2, the remake.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so while I kind of debating between this or Anatomy, which I was going to put higher, and while Anatomy I think as a whole package is scarier and in some ways more unique, Silent Hill 2 is such a big, expansive game that I think you just, in terms of quantity, like the whole game is like solid, like probably 9 out of 10, and like stretched out quite long. So like if you were to take like a chunk out of the game the size of Anatomy and compare it to Anatomy would probably be the better game. But the fact that you're getting like, 20 hours or so worth of gameplay and like it's all quite varied and unique, that's why I eventually opted for this one. It's not perfect. There's some things about the game that I didn't really like, mainly just how some enemies acted and like reacted. The battle system in this game, it's good, it's fine. It's just it's a different vision that the original was going for, basically. But it's still an incredible story. It's just as good this time around as it was back in 2001. Sorry, that thing on screen is really funny.
Frame rate drop for some reason. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's at times it's absolutely terrifying. The bit in the prison of this game, which as in the original game, that was like one of the scariest moments there. In this point, like I actually had to stop playing at one point because it was really, really, really got under my skin. And there's one of my favorite boss battles ever was actually in this game, was the Abstract Daddy boss fight. If anyone knows the series, they'll know the original game, what an effective boss battle that is. I actually think the remake does a better job than the original.
Wow.
In that respect. It's really effective, really powerful stuff, and it really gets the message across, like what it's trying to convey. So and for that reason, it's absolutely terrifying. So Silent Hill 2, not too surprising really that this was going to be up on my list. It's an excellent game. Highly recommend.
I don't want this to sound condescending in any way, but I'm really delighted for you that this is a good game. You know,
I know what you mean. I'm not. Don't take that in a condescending way at all. Yeah, because I was worried I was not going to like this.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I did like it. Yeah.
Sick.
Okay, so Michael, tell us what your number one Silk Song. I mean, what your number one game is going to be.
I do hate that. Like, it's always so obvious with me.
Yeah.
Like next year, you know, it's probably going to be 1,000 times Resist as well. But yeah,
Wait, sorry, are we not doing worst first?
we'll do that at the end.
We'll do
Okay,
that
fine,
last.
fine,
yeah.
So yeah, my number one game of the year is Hollow Knight Silk Song. And do you know what? Like, it was up in the air for me because I think Astrobot and Super Metroid are actually objectively almost perfect games. Like, I don't have a lot of flaws to like any nitpicks to really level at them, other than like the really small things I said. But again, I voted with my heart rather than my head in this case.
No, that's what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, the thing that swayed it for me was this feels, and this is like meant very complimentary. This feels like a game that took 7 years to make. Just the intention in every single thing is perfect. It's exactly what the developer wanted you to feel in each particular moment. And sometimes those things are very harsh. You know, sometimes they want you to feel frustrated, and that's a difficult emotion to grapple with, and something that isn't very appealing to a lot of people. And there are moments where I got frustrated with the game and the difficulty and the obscure nature of it and the harshness of the world. But it's absolutely beautiful when it's singing, and it's all the better for, you know, thematically and mechanically and emotionally having gone through hell to get to a point. It just makes those moments all the better. It's like, it's very much linked in my brain with how I felt about Bloodborne when I played that game as well. It's that same sort of feeling you get from it, and it's just like beautifully made. Like the visuals, for such a limited sort of perspective that they have, they do so much with that. The music is my favorite score of the year. Like it's absolutely perfect, but more restrained, less showy. I think it's definitely a game that gets under your skin, and it reveals its high points gradually, like blasting you in the face with them necessarily. I can't wait to see what they make next. They've said some DLC is coming. I'll be straight on board for that. But one of the best games ever made, like unbelievable. And just my final thought on this, because I know I've talked a lot about Silk Song on this podcast at various points, but I will always gravitate towards a big swing on something when a developer's like, I'm going to do something that isn't very palatable or popular, but it's what I want to make, and I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah.
It's what I feel with 1,000 Times Resist. It's what I felt with Signalis. It's these games where this has harsh edges that is going to push back at you at certain points. And it's not always difficulty. It can be presentation, or it can be something like that. But they're like, we want to make something that isn't very easily digestible in some ways. And that always works for me. It's something I really admire. So yeah, no shocker there. Like, it's not a better Metroidvania than Super Metroid. It's not a more replayable game than Astrobot, but it just does something, I don't know, indefinable for me.
Nice. Lovely put,
That's
man,
cool, man.
I have to say. Like, and I love what you said about, you know, developers taking a swing, because like, yeah, at the end of the day, like as long as it's kind of there's a reason for it and that's like somewhat explained, then that's the game they wanted to make, and you have to take it as that package, you know.
Yeah, that's it exactly. It's like it's not a mistake that they made a part difficult, or it's not a mistake that something's obscure in the game. It's very much intentional, and they made the game they wanted to make, which is a rare sort of thing, I think. Because they're independent as well. I think it's an important part of it.
Totally.
And incidentally, I think you're absolutely right to, as you say, vote with your heart. Like, because, you know, you can go like, oh yeah, well, objectively speaking, this is the better thing. I mean, I think that's how. I'm hoping that's the way I voted for my top game as well, and presume all of us so sick.
You got to vote with your heart. That's it. If there's anything you can take from this podcast, lads, and poo jokes, surprisingly.
Yes.
All right, over to Sean. Your top game of the year.
Cool. For my number one game of the year, it is The Altars.
Oh yes, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what it was, but of course that makes sense.
So this was like one of my most anticipated games last year, and it like completely lived up to the hype. I mean, I didn't even know fully what to expect going into it, but it's just such a well done mix of genres that it like that itself makes the game unique. So I talked about it a bit on the podcast before, but there's it's kind of part sim, part action adventure. You're managing your base. There's base management. You're managing all the characters in the base. You're exploring the world for materials. You could even say there's a bit of farming in it as well. All that wrapped up in a really really great story, to be honest, as well. It's no big mystery, I guess, about The Altars, is that you play as one character who essentially is kind of forced to clone himself in order to survive on inhospitable planet. And even though you have all these clones, like there's still a sense of loneliness because you're all the same person essentially, just with different personalities. That's just a huge part of what makes the story so amazing, and his journey to try and get back to Earth, basically. The voice actor who plays Jan in the game did a phenomenal job with the 11 different personalities he had to create, and as we said, kind of got a bit snubbed at the Game Awards, I feel, for not getting nominated. But yeah, it was just a brilliant experience. The fact that he kind of has to dive deeper into his past as well as the game goes on, because this is how he creates different clones of himself, by going back through his timeline and splitting. When he made an important choice to go to college or not to go to college, to take this job, to break up with that girlfriend or something. Those were all huge choices in his life, which if he had gone another way with them, it would have influenced his personality differently, and then who knows what would have happened after that. And that's where the basis for his altars come from. So it's a really personal journey for him, as well as there's the bigger story of the technology behind the cloning and what he's actually doing on this planet, why he was sent there and things. It's a brilliant game, and I can't wait to see what they do. This is by 11-bit Studios. They make the Frostpunk games and stuff as well. They're more known for simulation games.
This War of Mine?
This War of Mine as well. Yeah, exactly. I hope they kind of follow this format, or at least do more games in this vein that combine different genres, because they nailed it with this. It was really cool.
And I gotta say, visually stunning game.
Gorgeous.
Well.
Yeah, beautiful. You're on this hostile planet, and there's different biomes you go through as the game progresses. So there's quite a good variety between it. It's a beautiful looking game.
I love the tagline at the end of the trailer: "All by myself." That's pretty good.
That's cool. Yeah. And it was just a very memorable experience for me as well. Definitely recommend it if it fancies your
if it fancies my fancy.
Yeah. takes your fancy. Yeah. Over to Steve for your number one.
Cool. Cheers. My number one game kind of caught me by surprise, is probably as much as it will catch you guys by surprise. My number one was Trials of Mana. Which
wow.
I wasn't really expecting to like this as much, because when I booted it up for the first time, I kind of bounced off it, and I was kind of like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm really liking this. But by the end of it, I was loving it. I thought it was an absolutely incredible game. It really sucks you in. It's got an incredibly engaging battle system. The story's simple, but kind of by necessity. And it kind of feels like it gave me Stockholm syndrome in a way, because like I was with it for so long. Like it's kind of a long game. I think it took me about almost 40 hours to beat. But it's interesting. Going back to what you said, Michael, about big swings, like this is a game that is very ambitious for the time it came out in. It broke away from the formula from the Secret of Mana game, which was a proven success. So, that was a very, like, they could have just made the exact same thing again. And in some ways it's quite similar, but the fact that you don't have set characters, you can choose your characters, and the format of the narrative is quite different. Like there's a bit in the halfway point where basically you can go off on a bunch of different branching paths, and you can choose what to do. Before it kind of converges back onto the main plot again, which I thought was really interesting. Really, really well-designed boss monsters. Incredible designs. Like the one that you're seeing on screen now is like an example of one that's, kind of original, but they get much more original than that. There's one that you're fighting like on top of a dragon in the sky. And so like you're moving through like different settings. So you have to dodge things in the background while you're fighting, which in a turn-based RPG, that's quite unusual, I'd say. It's just one of those games that got under my skin, and like I just think back on and think like, yeah, that was a game that I really, really enjoyed. Like that's how I picked it. This is the game that really kind of stuck with me. So
went with the heart.
I went with the heart, as they say.
It's such an interesting thing to think about. Is back in this time period, Japanese developers were like, they wouldn't really rest on their laurels a lot of the time, especially around RPGs, because they would just be like, oh yeah, let's just reinvent the whole fucking thing for the next one. And it was almost like an expectation, maybe not an expectation, because there's plenty of like Dragon Quests that are the same.
Oh yeah,
in a lot of ways.
I mean Dragon Quest, I would say it's kind of 50-50, because some series absolutely do go for the same thing again and again and again, but it's the ones that we know, the ones that like are reputable, they tend to be the ones that have gone outside and like, tried something new with each installment. Like you should see the amount of RPGs I have never heard of on the shelves here, like an insane amount of them that never make it across the pond because, there's no real call for them.
Yeah, and sometimes those swings work and sometimes they don't, but like it is so cool when they do as well. And it's always admirable as well. I think I would always prefer that, to be honest. It's rare when I'm like, why did you fuck around with this? Just you should have kept it the same. I'm like, no, it's cool. Like fucking, like shoot your shot, Japanese developers.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd say if the worst part of this game is like the opening. So if you want to give it a go, if you start it up, you probably will bounce off it a bit. But once you get about maybe 4 or 5 hours in, you'll start to be like, yes, this is excellent. This is great.
All right, cool.
So yeah. So just to kind of like take us out now, we're going to talk about our worst game of the year, the absolute worst pile of shite that we played. And I'm very interested to hear what that was for you guys. So I'll throw it over to Michael. Michael, what was the worst thing that you played this year?
I don't think it'll be a surprise either. Mine's Final Fantasy 2. And
I had a feeling.
And you know what? Like part of me was like, I probably have played a worse game this year. I definitely haven't finished a worse game this year. I will say that. But it's significant just because the other, like I played Final Fantasy 1 and 3 this year and loved both of them, and it's like, how different can it be? Steve will tell you, very fucking different. And it actually is contrary to what I just said about take big swings, guys, do it, like live your life. I'm like, no, you shouldn't have fucked around with this one, guys. Sorry. Bring that back to the kitchen. It needs
you can
a few
swing
moments.
But you can miss as well.
You fucking can, and this is an example of that. It's just it's probably most succinctly boils down to the leveling up system, which is fucked, and that sort of breaks the game in a lot of ways. But also, I think it narratively isn't that interesting, even though it has a bit more going on than one. I don't think it does much with that. It has very repetitive characters sacrificing themselves for the group.
Oh God, yeah.
Thing that comes up, like, it's so much. Like, the first time it happens, you're sort of like, oh, that's cool. They're experimenting, like, with this sort of narrative thing. But then they do it 3 or 4 other times, and you're like, okay, cool. Anytime someone joins the party now, I'm going to be like, you're going to die soon. That's fine. And it loses its impact. It's like, it instantly plops you out in the whole entire world, to the point where I was visiting towns I'm not meant to until 3/4 of the way through the game. And I'm like, this is shit. Why am I just walked across the map for this. And it's sort of like, cool, I get freedom, but it's wayward. It doesn't have any direction to it. Has some cool moments, some cool dungeons, and the music is excellent. Of course, it's a Final Fantasy game, and the world map team is maybe one of the best in the series. It's a very very cool map team, sort of contrary to other ones in that it's quite melancholy in some ways. Yeah, it did not do it for me. They righted the ship when they went back to 3 and introduced the job system, which was great in 3 as well. But no, not for me. But I'm really glad I played it, I have to say. Throwing it over to Sean for his worst game of the year.
Cool. So this was a bit of a hard one. So when I went through all the games I played, I was like,
Battlefield 6.
None of these are like terrible games, you know. Like, so this isn't really. Well, this is kind of a reflection on the game, but also, like, I'm aware that some people probably love it. Like, it's fine. Now, another caveat. So, first of all, the game I'm talking about is Delta Force, the new one that came out. I think it actually came out 2024.
I don't even know what this is. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
So, Delta Force is like a long-running FPS series that started in the 90s.
Oh. Okay.
But it was recently, the newest entry in it, which came out in 2024, was by Team Jade. I think they're a Chinese developer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was brought out as like basically a competitor to Battlefield. So it's got, like vehicle warfare, big open maps.
Yeah, lots of players and stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. But I wasn't really that excited about that part because I'm a Battlefield fan. I was like, that's what I'll go to for that experience. You know, I don't really, I'm not interested in a clone. But they also announced that they were bringing out a single player campaign, and it was going to be a remake of Delta Force Black Hawk Down, which came out in the early noughties. And that's a game I had on PC back then and absolutely loved. Like, it's one of my favorite FPS games just for like single player campaign. If like anyone's seen the movie Black Hawk Down or like a fan of that, like it was like very faithful to the movie. And yeah, just a great experience. Now, my problem, hold on, let me get it on screen because I haven't even done that yet.
I'm like, it looks a lot like Final Fantasy 2. It's weird for a modern first-person shooter.
So here's my problem, right? The game was released for PC first, and then they ported it to consoles in 2025. And it was free to play as well, which is fine. That included the campaign. So I was like, great, I get to play. That was all I was interested in. I get to play that for free. Now, the problem is the campaign was developed specifically to be co-op, right?
Okay.
And because of that, when they released it on consoles, co-op wasn't available for the campaign. So you could only play it solo. But the level at which it was developed for co-op ruins it as a single player experience, right? So you can pick a class before you start before you start each level. You can pick like assault, medic, support, recon, right? If you pick support, you get extra ammo. If you pick medic, you get like extra bandages and stuff like that, right? So the single player the campaign was definitely developed for you to play as a squad of 4, so you could heal your teammates, revive them if they get downed, resupply ammo. Okay. As a single player game, though, there's no ammo in the level that you can pick up at all. Fuck. So what you go in with is what you have. If you run out of ammo, you're fucked, basically.
And like your
That's
AI
insane.
squad mates can't give you any ammo or anything.
No, it can't. You don't even get an AI squad.
Okay.
So you're completely on your own, right? Then same with health. There's no health pickups either. So if you use all your bandages, you're out. You have to just survive. There's no regenerative health either. So you just have to survive.
Okay.
If you die, there's no checkpoints. You go straight back to the very start of the level.
Sorry, Sean. I know what you said at the beginning of this. This seems like a bad game. Like I think we're allowed to say
no.
that.
See, I'm sure if you were able to play it in co-op, it would be a really good experience, right? Because even if like you're out of health kits, you get downed, you can still get revived.
Yes. Okay.
I got downed in like one of the first levels, and I was around NPCs that were on my side. They weren't part of my squad. They were just like in the level, and nobody would revive me. I was like, they're right there. Like, can they not like just implement that so they can come over and revive me? No. Like, it's such a shame because from what I've seen of the game, like it looks like a beautiful reimagining of the original campaign from the early noughties. And I was really excited to play it. But I couldn't get past like the second level on it. I kept getting a little bit further. Like I don't mind a hard FPS game, but this is like, it's to the point where it's just unplayable, you know, especially like the running out of ammo thing and not being able to pick, like you're killing enemies, their weapons are on the ground. Let me at least pick up their weapon.
That's like a mechanic in every game.
Yeah,
like.
it's just crazy. And it's such a shame. I really wanted to be able to enjoy it, and on top of that as well. So obviously people complained a shitload about this to developers, and they came out then and said, we're not going to make a co-op on console, and we're not even going to modify it to allow you to like carry more ammo or anything like that. They're just not interested.
But like, it's not like we intended it this way. It's like, oh, we're not bothered.
It's just not bothered, and I don't understand why. Like, it's like the biggest part of the game is the multiplayer where you play with other players. It's like this was already a core feature of the game. Now I haven't looked it up. Like maybe they've changed it since, but like the last time I checked before Christmas, they hadn't changed it. So it's just such a shame. It's really annoying.
Okay. That's a good one, Sean. I think that's a valid.
I was racking my brain, like going through all the games I played. None of these are terrible. And then I saw that, I was like, oh my god, that pissed me off so much. So that's my worst game of the year. Over to you, Steve.
Okay, Sean, you'll be delighted to hear this now because both me and Michael have a Final Fantasy as our worst game.
Oh, okay. Not so great of a series after
all. So my worst game of this year was Final Fantasy 15 Monsters of the Deep. This was the
VR one,
the VR fishing game, So
what is going on?
Sean, you need to play this one to understand the other 15 games, okay?
So again, this game is just pointless. Like it's I don't know why they chose fishing as the reason to do VR. Like they probably could have done anything else.
How is this a Final Fantasy game though?
You can fish in the main Final Fantasy 15, but it's not like an important part of it or anything, you know?
No, and this is the thing, like there's four of the key members, they all have this thing that they like doing, right? Like so one character loves photography, which would have been a better feature, I think, in this game.
Actually,
one of them likes cooking, which not immediately obvious, also probably would have been better.
Compare it
and the
up
other
with
guy's
the fishing, like you know.
Yeah, and then there's like the hunter guy who's just like really good at like, you know, fighting and just strong and stuff like that. I don't know what you can do with that. But the fishing was the part that I think like Michael will probably agree with this. It was the one part of the game that nobody was interested in. Yeah. Nobody liked the fishing in that game. So why they opted to make this part of the VR thing, I have no idea. But it's just a janky as hell game. Really, really janky. Like the controls are finicky. They don't explain things really well at all. It's insultingly easy, despite the fact that it's janky. Like I think I finished it in about 2 hours, and you know, it's just, you know, catch a couple of fish, then kill a big fish. Catch a couple of fish, kill a big fish, and you do that something like 5 times, and you're done. So it's just a pointless game, and I feel particularly pissed off about it because I was waiting for it to go really, really cheap. And the cheapest I think when I bought it was something like, I think a tenner, and I still feel like that was a waste of money.
Yeah,
because it's just a useless game. It's just bad. It's just bad. But just to address your comment, Sean, so like it's the reason it is a good series. It's just that we're like we're still looking for that high, so we're reaching into the dregs of all the other games now.
Exactly, we're chasing that dragon, man.
Yeah, like I'd say there's a solid like maybe 6 or 7 excellent, practically perfect games in this series, and then we're just kind of like, okay, what else is there now? This was an awful game. This was what's it? Pitch. I'm trying to think of like the opposite of pitch perfect. Pitch
imperfect.
Flash.
Pitch imperfect. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Sean, can you fucking play a Final Fantasy this year? Just it'll be funny.
I played 7. I played a bit at the start of it. Yeah.
That's like 3% of that game.
Maybe 16. Is that the MMO one or?
14 is the
14.
MMO. No,
14.
I would not recommend starting with that, to be honest. But, do you know what? Just because of your comments earlier, Sean, I'm going to play a fuckload of Final Fantasies this year, so we're going to be talking about it constantly.
Yeah. Give me a recommendation for one. Are the pixel remasters? Do you think I'd enjoy any of them?
I don't know. It depends if you want to play the 2D ones rather than the 3D ones. What do you think?
I would. Yeah. For me, like I actually recommended a friend of mine to play one earlier this year, and for me, I always go with 9. I always think that's the best one to start people on.
Okay,
or 10 though. 10.
No, I was thinking it is, but I think 9 just like is overall better designed. Like 10 is kind of bloated with like lots of stuff in it that's bad.
Yeah.
Like it's a great game, but like, you know, the blitzball stuff is bad. The sphere grid is a bit, you know,
and all
like there's lots
the
of
monster
stuff.
hunting shit like is pretty hard at the.
But compared to 9, there's not really much that you can really say is bad in that game, I would argue.
True. Okay, that is it. Unless there's anything else anyone wanted to bring up or say.
Nah, I think we're good. Next month when we're chatting, we will probably be a bit shorter because there'll be less of a gap between our two podcasts. So and we'll probably have some fun stuff to talk about then. We haven't decided yet, but we'll come up with something.
That's it.
Just quickly, is there any like game you're really looking forward to this year?
Very quickly, and it only recently had a gameplay reveal, is Fable, actually. And it's coming to the PlayStation as well, which I'm very excited about.
Is it?
It is, yeah. And it looks quite like a modern version of the first game. And I really enjoyed the first game back in the day I played it. And it has that vein of British humor going throughout it. I worked with someone who worked on the game, who's a comedic actor, and that gave me a very positive feeling towards the tone they're going for in it. So that's exciting, really, and just it seems like they're focusing on the bits that are important with the series. So I'm looking forward to Fable, I have to say. Apart from that, there's nothing else really on my radar yet.
For me, I'm very much just a victim of the hype machine. Resident Evil 9 is the only game that's really I'm really excited to see. Kind of because I sort of suspect it's going to be bad. I was kind of on board with it for ages until I saw they were mashing up 2 different styles of gameplay. Which, as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Oh, that's what you did with Resident Evil 6, and that's where it all went to shit, lads." Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe they can get it right. Who knows?
I think I would prefer if they just made one or the other. They made like a really scary first-person one or a new RE4, which I would fucking play the shit out of a new RE4. But like, I probably won't play that because I don't want to do the scary sections. You know. Sorry.
I think we can do a co-op thing where I'll play all the scary sections and I'll hand it over to you for Resident Evil 4 once.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it could be good though. Like I've seen, like you could play both characters third person if you want, and I guess Leon's will just be a bit more actiony, like more enemies and stuff, you know. But yeah, I don't know.
What are we watching, Sean?
That's the remake of Donkey Konga.
I needed something to put on the screen. I was like, oh yeah, I've still got those Donkey Konga images.
What are you looking forward to, Sean?
Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing that's been announced really that I can think of anyway. Like obviously, yeah, Resident Evil Requiem as well. And yeah, I'm interested to see what Fable's about. Forza Horizon 6 as well, which got announced, looks really cool. Yeah, I'm kind of still waiting for like announcements of other games, like the Max Payne remake. Hopefully we get a trailer for that this year.
That would be cool, actually.
Yeah. And yeah, the next Metro game, like I keep mentioning, hopefully we get something about that as well.
Is Phantom Blade Zero, is that still coming out this year?
Yeah,
I think it is.
That's a Souls-like, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a game that I kind of, my interest on it peaks and troughs every now and then. Because I remember the first time I saw the trailer, I thought the combat looked amazing. But then it looks very much like every other Souls-like. So I'm like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this.
This guy with the mustache, sorry. Sean, I think I have a memory of us getting a copyright strike for this video.
No way. No, do we?
No, maybe it's a different video. It can't be this.
These are just still images, though. Like,
yeah, but somebody owns them somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's wrap it up, guys.
Yeah,
that
cool.
was a great one. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Yeah, over 2 hours this time. So
we'll catch you on the next one.
It'll be shorter next time.
Yes, definitely.
Good luck, all.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.